Our next guest has a fatal fascination for women. He is wonderfully handsome. He is superbly talented. He is so tall and good-looking, women cannot resist him. They become his slaves, no matter where he happens to be. And the secret is that he can make the woman of his choice laugh. And they do tell me, those who know about these things, that the great gift with a woman is to be able to make her laugh. Because while she's busy laughing, she doesn't notice what else you're going to. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Billy Connolly.
What was all that about handsome and stuff?
I meant every word of it, Billy.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear
I wanted to give you a little build-up for yourself. Where in the name of God did you get the rig out?
Just a minute. You've had people on here painted blue and you didn't say a word to them.
I thought...
Not only that, there was about half a dozen of them were dressed as a dragon. And you talking about my suit?
I thought the rig out you wore with Parky was bad enough.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've had a thing about clothes for a long time. Men's clothes haven't really changed much since the 30s. Like, you look at your suit, you could be in a 1937 movie, couldn't you? Oh, no, I'm not putting you down. It's a very nice suit. But you know, the lapel thing and the double-breasted and a nice pair of trousers and Oxford shoes, you know, you could be in a 40s for a 30s movie. So I thought, let's cheer the place up a bit here. You know, the only thing is, when you sit on your granny's couch, you disappear. You know? But it's good. I like it.
Do you want to do a twirl for me? Do you want to do a twirl? Stand up and do a twirl. Stand up and do a twirl. This is Mr. Billy. The only thing I have to say about that is it looked better on the window.
No, models usually take it off.
Don't drive them wild completely. Come back.
It's okay, it's just a suit.
How are you then? You're just back from Australia. How long were you there?
Yesterday, I came back yesterday. I was only there for a week.
How mad do you have to be to
Pamela and the kids are out there. And I went to see them, say hello.
For a week?
Yeah, the kids keep forgetting who I am, you see. They cry and stuff, especially Amy. She's only 9 months old, and she'd no idea. She's been away for like a month and a half. And that's about a sixth of her life or something. and so, you know, she cries when I come in, you know. Oh, there's a man in here. And so I have to go and check them up. I did it before. I went to the Bahamas for a day once. Because they were there, you know, she was filming Pamela and she took the children with her, and so I just went. It was great.
You must be mad to go to Australia for a week, though.
It's very weird. Just now I feel kind of strange. I'm kind of...
Yeah, it's all right, son. Settle down. You're on the Late Late Show. You're in your...
Oh, it's good. It's a nice feeling, you know. It's a kind of...
Talk to me about living in France, for heaven's sake. Why so?
It's the oddest thing. I had a lot of writing to do this year. And Pamela was going to Australia and New Zealand to work. This is Pamela Stevenson, with whom I share my life. And it's a funny, you know, we're not married, so I can't say she's my wife. And it's funny, we don't have a name for that.
Yes.
Isn't it odd?
My living friend.
My lover.
My lover, that would do, yes.
And now, if I was wearing a suit like that, I would say my lover. It would sound better. But I
think about that.
Do you know something?
I think about that.
Do you know in Sweden they have a word, it's sambo. And in Swedish that's your partner, a sambo. Imagine, I mean, I'd get publicly hanged if I called him as she would do it. It's, so anyway, she was going to do all this work and it was winter over here. And I thought, well, I was going to buy a house in Spain and spend some time there and be windswept and interesting and exotic and do this writing. And then I met a friend who had a house in France in a vineyard and said, would you like to rent it for a while? So I sit there, ostensibly writing stuff.
Where?
In Perpignan. Well, it's near Perpignan. It's a place called Collioure in the eastern Pyrenees near the Spanish border.
And do you know French?
I know bits of French. I can get by. I'm the only English-speaking, well, if you call what I speak English. And, you know, so I have trouble everywhere with my language anyway, you know, absolutely. I have trouble in Scotland being understood. and so in France, I can get by. I know enough to get by from my school stuff, and I bought some cassette tapes and I learn my stuff. I do little lessons.
What do you do all day, Billy?
I sit and write and wait for the muse to come upon me.
Write comedy, do you?
I write little poems, but I'm writing a children's poetry book and bits of stuff like that, you know.
But you say you live in a vineyard. You're not even drinking this.
I don't. No, I've gone from wino to living in a vineyard. It's extraordinary. I don't drink. I walk in the mountains now. I've become extremely weird, and it's okay. The only other English-speaking person in the village is Sting, and he's only a poster in a shop, you know. And he's advertising Levi's, and so I go down in the morning and I buy my bread and I go, "Hi, Sting," and he never bloody answers me.